Hey guys, so it's been a couple weeks now since our craft shows, and I just wanted to go over kind of the whole experience, how much we made, bestsellers, all that kind of stuff, just to give you guys an idea. So we had back-to-back craft fairs a few weekends ago. Crazy. We did a Friday show and then a Saturday show. So Friday night we were at the art walk. Again, we did the same art walk back in June, and we did it again in August. That was just like a little night market kind of thing from like 5 to 9. And then we went to the Akron Library and we did Geek Fest Saturday morning, and that was from like 9 to 5. So straight back-to-back craft fairs, very busy weekend, but it was one of our best markets that we've done. We've only done, like, counting those two, we've only done 4 this year, and definitely Geek Fest was our best market we've ever done. So that was super exciting. So I just want to share with you guys all the things that we sold and how much we made. So keep watching if you want to find out. Okay, so for the art walk, we went to this local gallery, and every month they do like a Friday art walk thing where you can go shop local vendors and kind of like get food, drinks, music, and there's also like art galleries and like studio spaces there, so you can also shop in. So we went to 2 of those this year. We went to one in June and we went to this one. Comparing them, we were on, so the first one we went to in June, we were in the basement, and this one we were on like the main floor level, which I feel like there was a lot more foot traffic on the main floor than there was in the basement, so I feel like that's why we did a little bit better. We were also set up like kind of in the main aisle where everyone was kind of crossing, so I feel like we were seen a little bit better. So I feel like that also helped our sales, because we did make a little bit more than last time, not too much more. Last time we made $95 and the fee for the table was $75. So it was also $75 again this month, but we did do a little bit better. So let me just share with you what we did on day 1. So what we ended up selling, I'll have little pictures inserted if I can find them. If not, then I'm just reading your description. I don't have the item anymore to show you a picture, but I should have pictures for most of them. So the first thing we sold was actually to another vendor that was there. He was talking to us. We sold one of our fall gnome tote bags, and we sold that for $10. We ended up also selling, I made a few of the mushroom pop keychains, and we ended up selling 3 of those for $5 a piece. The next thing I sold was a little Squirtle plush that I made, and we ended up selling him for $20. Then I also sold one of my little chonky whales, and that was $10. And then I made these little mini like Ninja Turtles with pizza shells, and I made the whole set, all 4 of them, and I sold 3 of them for $5 a piece. And it was so funny because like I sold 3 except for what's the purple one's name? Raphael? No, that feels wrong. Well, I sold everyone except for like the purple one, and this little kid came by and he really wanted Mikey. So like I didn't have him because it sold. So I felt so bad because he was like begging me for the orange one, because I had all the other ones except for the orange one because someone bought it at that point. So fail. But anyway, I sold 3 of those guys. People were loving those. They were so cute. Next, I only made 1 possum, and I ended up selling that for $8. And it was funny, the lady literally like saw it and she just started laughing because I guess she had some kind of weird story about a possum that she found in her house or something. So she just like laughed and had bought it. So that was funny. And then I ended up selling both of my stingray keychains that I made, and I sold those for $5 a piece. And I sold one of my hanging planters that I made for $10. And then surprisingly, I sold 2 of my Maggie bags, and those were $25 a piece. I had these Maggie bags at both of my last markets and no one really seemed interested in them, but I sold 2 of them, so that was exciting to finally see some of those go, because I think I have like 5 made, but I sold a rainbow one and a green one. And then I also sold one of my little peeps. This is my last peep I had, because I made like 3 of them for my April market, because that was around Easter time. But I ended up selling the last one, and I sold that for $10. And then the last thing I sold at the art walk was one of my rainbow jellyfish for $15. So honestly, it was a pretty successful night for only being a 4-hour show. I think we did a lot better at this one than we did at the one in June. I don't know, just location of where our table is, maybe just more people were out that night. You know, it kind of varies, you know, same location. But we ended up making a total of $173 there, minus the $75 for the table, so around like $90-ish, which is better. Last time we made about like $93 total, and minus the $75, we came out with only like $20 or something. So we definitely did a lot better this time, which is exciting. But yeah, that's how the art walk went. It was fun. I didn't sign up for any more of them this year, but maybe next year I'll do a couple more. It's just hard getting there after work because I've been working later lately, so yeah, we have to get there at like 3 to set up, and like sometimes I don't get out of work till like 4 or 5, and then it's like 40 minutes away from my work, so it's like hard to get there, and I don't have enough PTO to take off on Fridays all the time. And I mean, some Fridays I'm off, but like it never correlates to my off time, so yeah. But yeah, overall it was good. We cleaned up and just kind of left. I have some footage you probably saw earlier in this video of both of the craft fairs, so. Okay, moving on to Geek Fest. So this was the first time we did a like comic book anime convention type thing. The Akron Library actually hosts it for free, so we didn't pay any table costs, which is super cool. I don't know, it was really fun just kind of talking to some of the other vendors. We learned about a few more like conventions that we wanted to sign up for, because I think conventions are our target audience. Like, I think that's where we need to go, because this is one of the best markets we've ever done. Like, our table was almost empty at the end of the night, which is crazy. Like, we almost sold all of our plushies. We came with like, I don't know how many plushies we had, but we sold like over 70 of them, and we have maybe like 10 left, so now I'm trying to hustle to get plushies made for our September market in 3 weeks. But yeah, it was really good. It was really exciting. There's definitely a lot of like people we could talk to there, and like there's like this father with like little girls, and they just were like interested in crochet, so they were asking all these questions and stuff. It was really fun. But yeah, so let's go over everything we sold at the Geek Fest and how much we made for that one. So the first thing I sold, I think I actually sold to another seller, and it was my Beetlejuice plushie for $55. I'm really excited that that sold. I was kind of afraid because of the price point, but it's a convention and people want to spend money, I guess. But I was excited to see that sold. Also kind of sad because I loved it, but he's off to his forever home, so that's exciting. I'm glad someone liked him and picked him up. And then I also sold 5 more of my Pizza Ninja Turtles for $5 a piece. People were just obsessed with those things, probably because they're just small and cheap. But like, I was making them while I was sitting there, and like every time I put one out, they would just sell instantly. Like, this one guy bought the red one, and then I was making the blue one. He's like, wait, you just finished that? I want that one too. So he bought that one too. It was funny. But yeah, we sold him. I sold them. The next thing I sold is one of my mini Triceratops for $5. I only had one of these, so I feel like maybe if I had more, they would have sold, because they're a really good seller on my website. So yeah, I just didn't have time, so I didn't make a bunch of them. But yeah, we sold that one. I also ended up selling 3 of my axolotls, the mini ones, for $8 a piece. Yeah, I think those might have been my last 3. I might have had 1 left. But yeah, I had these made for like the April market, and they've just been traveling with me to other markets, so I'm glad they sold. We also sold 2 of our little dish scrubbies that Stephanie makes out of like scrubby yarn. They're pretty cool, so we sold those for $3 a piece. Then we also sold 2 of our flower bookmarks for $6 a piece. And I ended up selling 2 possums for $8 a piece. I literally made like possums Friday night before Geek Fest so that I would have some, because like they were popular and I heard they're popular, but I just like didn't make enough. And like everyone kept asking for them. They're like, I heard you have possums. You got possums? So that was cool. I literally was making one at my table to put out, and the girl at the table next to me, she's like, can I get that when you're done? So I sold her another possum. So that was fun. I definitely want to make more of those for some of my other craft fairs. The next thing we sold is I sold 3 more of my rainbow jellyfish for $15 a piece. I feel like that might have been the last of my jellyfish. I think I sold all of them. I'm not sure if I have any more left, but I made like a whole rainbow, like 5 or 6 of them, and I finally sold out of them. I also sold 2 more of my mushroom pop keychains for $5 a piece. And Friday night I also made another stingray keychain, and I sold that for $5 as well. I made one of my little ghosties, and I sold that for $10. I sold that for $10. And then I sold one of my badge reels for $5. I have a few of these made, but I feel like people just aren't really that interested in them. I thought maybe they'd be cool, but I've only sold maybe like 3 of them, and I made like 15 or something. And then I sold my little spider plushie that I made. I feel like a lot of people were interested. I feel like a lot of people were interested in the like Halloween-y kind of plushies, so I sold that for $15. We ended up selling 3 of our little like scrubby washcloths for $3 a piece. I finally sold my giant axolotl. This was like the first plushie I made with blanket yarn. So I sold that for $35, so that was exciting. I ended up selling my little pterodactyl for $30. I sold this ugly cat that I made from a pattern. Like I tried to make like a mini cat, and like it just turned out so bad, but someone bought it and they're like, is this a cat? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then they bought it. That sold for $5. You know, to each their own, I guess. I sold one of my leggy frogs for $10. I still have one leggy frog left, which I'm surprised about. A lot of people kind of looked at them and laughed at like their little poses and stuff, but not a lot of people were interested in them, I guess. I only made 2, so maybe I didn't have enough colors or something, but we sold one. I also sold one of my little squid pops, mushy pop things. Like, they're from the same pattern as the mushy pops, but I sold one of the squids for $5. The leggy frog was $10. I don't know if I mentioned that. Then we ended up selling one of our giant triceratops for $40, so that was exciting. Stephanie made those a what? Do you hear that? Stephanie made those like a while ago, so she was excited to see that sell. Shmee, 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 oh Shmee, aww. We also sold 2 little pumpkins that we made. One was 15 and one was 20 because they were different sizes, so we sold those. And then I sold my big Spider-Man plushie. I originally made this for Kevin, and he's like, just bring it and like try to sell it. So I brought it. I'm gonna make him another one because he wants me to like kind of fine-tune the pattern a little bit. But I designed this pattern myself, and I was hoping to release a pattern video tutorial or something at some point for it. But I gotta make another one now because I sold it for $30. Then I sold my blue cow for $35. We sold one of our little rubber ducks for $15. We sold a ladybug for $10. I sold my sunflower cow for $30. When we were there, Stephanie made up a little Totoro, so we sold that for $15. We also sold a bee for $30. I have these little like alpacas that we call Frank the alpaca. It's a pattern I designed that hopefully I'm going to be releasing soon. I gotta finish writing it up, but we sold 2 of them. I sold a mini one with acrylic yarn for $20, and then I sold a larger one with Parfait Chunky yarn for $25. We also sold another little chunky whale for $10. That was my last chunky whale, so that's exciting. I made like 3 of them, and like that was the final one to sell. And I also sold another hanging planter for $10. I only made 2 and I sold both of them, so that was good. And then we also sold 2 Pokeballs. Stephanie just made these up while we were sitting there because she's like, I need to think of more nerd stuff to make, and we were like, our table was getting pretty naked, so we like hurried up and made those like while we were sitting there because it was like 8 hours. What else were we gonna do but crochet? But she sold both of those. Literally, like, a girl was walking by and she just like was like, oh, that's cute, and she's like, here, take it. And the girl just bought it, like she just threw it at her, and she's like, okay. Then I made a little mini Spider-Man while I was sitting there. I just kind of like freehanded it, and I sold that for $5. And then we sold one of our mini aliens for $15. And that was everything we sold at Geek Fest for a grand total of $677. Now that is gross. It doesn't like count our table costs, material costs, credit card fees, all that stuff, but that's kind of like the gross income, I guess, that we made from the show. So total for the weekend we made $850 minus the $75 cost for the art walk table. So roughly our gross was $775. Insane. That was insane, especially for a free craft fair. I think conventions are where we need to be because they just love plushies at conventions. So that was super exciting. This was like by far the best craft fair we've ever had. Super exciting. We actually ended up signing up for a craft fair. Well, we actually signed up to be a like vendor at another convention in March, so hopefully we get into that one because that'd be super cool. It's a 2-day convention. If we do get into it, we need to go hard with crocheting because we are out of stock. I'm honestly like worried about our craft fair in 3 weeks because we have to hustle and make more things. And so far I've made like 2 things, so that's good. But yeah, I'm working on trying to figure out like how to subtract our material costs and everything. We've been tracking everything in spreadsheets, so we're really trying to kind of figure out our material costs and labor costs so we can kind of figure out a profit on how to pay ourselves because we are splitting it. Right now we're kind of just throwing all our earnings into our business account and kind of funneling it back into the business since we're so like new and starting out. But eventually we want to try to figure out how to like pay ourselves. So we're working on that part of the puzzle here, but that's roughly what we made gross for the show, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely want to do more shows. I feel like it's a lot of fun and we kind of get to meet new people, and it's fun talking to people, you know. But yeah, that was our back to pack craft fair extravaganza. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Expect more market prepping because I have a craft fair in 3 weeks. Bye guys!